Hello friends. So in this video we are going to learn how to execute a SR flip-flop. Here I am going to demonstrate SR flip-flop using a Xilinx software. Click on this Xilinx icon. So once you click on Xilinx icon, the application will be launching. This is the window we are getting after the launching of the application. So this is the device we have selected under this folder, and right click on this device, select a new source. Once you select a new source, you need to select a source type here. So Verilog module we need to select because we are going to write a program in Verilog. Give a name for your program. Here I am going to give as SR underscore flip flop, that is FF. So once you give a file name, click on next. Here if you want to define your module, that is ports for your module, you can specify the ports by selecting input as well as an output port. But now I am not going to define any variable here in this window. I am going to write directly in the text editor and click on finish. Once you click on finish, the window will appear with a text editor. This is a text editor. Okay. Here I need to write my port list as well as my logic here. Okay. Now I already kept ready with my program. So just I am copying this program, or else so you need to type your program here. Okay. I am having already written program, so I am copying here. Once you copy here, okay, so you need to save this. Click on save icon here on the top of this. Okay, so this is the save button. Save the program. Once you save it, just verify this line. Parsing design hierarchy completed successfully. That means the design or whatever the program we have written here, it is parsed correctly and it is saved. Now click on this. Click on this SR flip flop. While writing a Verilog program, that is a main program, we need to be in the implementation design. Okay, it has two designs. One is implementation, other one is a simulation. First, we need to do the implementation part. So we have done the implementation part. Now, whether the program is correct or not, that is syntax is correct or not, without errors, I need to select my SR flip-flop here, whatever I have written program, and in the below window you can see here, in the below window we are getting a check syntax. Okay, so in some of the versions it is giving synthesis. So if we expand the synthesis, you will get a check syntax here. Only if you can check this whether it is correct or not, the written program it will verify. Double click or right click run, it will also work here. Okay, now I double click on check syntax. I need to wait for, so this has to be processed. It will check for the whether the grammar or syntax whatever I have written for a Verilog code is correct or not. Okay, here you can see the process check syntax completed successfully. That means I didn't have any errors here. Okay, so number of errors is 0, number of warnings are 0, and number of informations are 0. That means my program is ready to run now. Okay, so before going to run, I need to provide an input. By providing an input, I need to verify my SR flip-flop, the written logic is correct or not, whether the functionality of the SR flip-flop is working as per the design or not. Okay, right click on the SR flip-flop. This is the program on .v file. So here you need to right click now. New source. Select a new source. Select a new source. Here again we are going to write a Verilog program, but it is not the Verilog module here. We are writing the test bench for this Verilog module now. Okay, so select a Verilog text feature. This is the another way of writing a test bench. Okay, so in the earlier we have seen different methods of providing a input and testing my module or my program. Here this is the one more method. It is a Verilog text feature. You can write a separate program by giving a separate file name itself. Okay, SR flip-flop for test bench I have given as a underscore tb. SR underscore ff underscore tb is the test bench file name I am going to create for my SR flip-flop here. Click on next. Once you click on next, So if you already done so many programs in your this folder, okay, all the programs will be listed here. But you need to select which is the program I am going to test now. Okay, for which program I am writing a test bench. Now I am writing a test bench for SR flip-flop. By default it has selected here. Otherwise we need to select whichever program I am going to write. So now I am selecting a SR flip-flop. This is the program. For this program I am going to write a test bench now. Okay, here it says select a source with which to associate the new source. Okay, the new source is a test bench. So that I am associating with my SR flip-flop the logic whatever I have written here, the program. Click on next. Click on finish. Once you click on finish, again one more new window will appear. There I need to write my inputs here. Okay, so this is the program. So these are the built-in program. By default it will come here. Okay, so you can see it will choose it will associate it with or instantiated. So this program, this is the main program I have written. This is the main program I have written, and these are the, so this is unit under test. So unit under test is the SR underscore flip flop now. All the variables whatever I have declared in the main program it appears here. Only I need to give add stimulus here. So I need to add the inputs here. Okay. So now I am selecting these block. Okay. I am removing this. Okay. Here I need to provide my inputs. Whatever inputs are required for this flip flop I am going to provide here. I am going to type here. So this is the program. Okay. So now I need to provide only this block. Okay. So this block is nothing but the inputs to my SR flip flop. Okay. After initial and begin, I am going to give an inputs. Okay. So this is the input, right? So this is the input. So if you are not written earlier, so you need to type here. Okay. So here you can see here Ashton. So here the ash indicates it is a keyword. It is a keyword in Verilog to define a delay here. Okay. So delay means on what time, after what time or duration of operation of this particular inputs. Okay, so it will take a 10 nanoseconds. At 10 nanoseconds, here 10 is the number. You can give any number here, 10, 100, 1000, whatever value you want it. You can make it as 100 here for all the things, or you can give wherever you want a more delay, wherever you want less delay, you can specify here. So that needs a #10 here. #10 indicates a delay here. So #10 S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, clock is equal to 0. This is the one input. I am giving all the possible inputs for my SR flip flop here. And after 10 nanoseconds, I am providing a new input called S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, and clock is equal to 1. You can see here the clock is equal to 0 here in the first condition. Here I am making a 1 here. Then my S and R will be set and reset input will be 0 here. After 10 nanosecond, so S is equal to 0 and R value I am changing 1 and keeping clock as 0 here. Okay. So like this I am giving all the possible inputs for my flip-flop I have provided here, and I am ending with this block will be ending with a end statement and ending the module. Save this. Save this. If you want to check whether this program is correct or not, right click on this, give a rerun. So once you give a rerun, it will started checking this test bench file. This is the test bench, you can see here. So SR underscore flip-flop underscore TB. Okay. So check syntax completed successfully. So this program also doesn't have any errors here. Okay. Now I can go for simulation now. So simulation means, so I'm checking the working condition or functionality of this. You can see as I come to simulation, so under SR flip-flop, I have written a unit under test. This is a test bench. Okay, so this is a main flip-flop, whatever I have written program, and this is a test bench I have associated for this. Okay, so select this test bench. Once you select this test bench, here the iSim simulator will appear here. The iSim simulator will appear. First you need to check the behavior check syntax. Okay, behavior check syntax, right click on run. So once you click on run, it will check the behavior of this flip-flop, or if any errors are there, if any warnings are there, it will show here. Okay, so you can see here there is no errors, there is no warnings. Okay, so only, so check syntax is completed successfully. Now click on simulate behavior model. So this is where we are executing the program. So here we are going to get a timing diagram or a waveform here. Again here, right click on run. Okay, once you click on run, your output window will appear in a iSim simulator. Here I am going to use a iSim simulator for simulating a software here before constructing a hardware here. Okay, yes, now it is executed. The SR flip-flop program is executed. Okay, and these are test bench it has taken, and these are the output variables. You can see Q bar, these are the output, these are the input S, R and clock. Okay, so here first click zoom to full view window, so now we are going to get a exact output here. So in order to see this in a clear manner, so click on this zoom button, plus zoom button. Plus zoom button will give a expanded version. Okay, so clear values of your output. Okay, so as we are given a delay of 10 nanoseconds. Okay, for every 10 nanoseconds it is started changing its state. Okay, from 0 to 10 nanoseconds, 0 to 10 nanoseconds, I have written a program. Okay, you can see here 0 to 10 nanoseconds I have given S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, and clock is equal to 0. Here you can verify S is equal to 0. Okay, so S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, clock is equal to 0. Then Q1 QB is undefined. After 10 nanosecond, the first input will be applicable after 10 nanosecond of delay. Okay, initially we have not started anything. Initially there is no value. That's why I have not applied any value from 0 to 10 nanosecond. This is a 10 nanosecond. Okay, so this is a 10 nanosecond. Before a 10 nanosecond I have not applied. After 10 nanosecond, okay, after initiation of this program, I have applied S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, and clock is equal to 0. So my outputs are not defined here. It's in a red mark. Okay. Now after another 10 nanosecond, that means 10 plus 10, 20 nanosecond, I have applied S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, clock is 1. Clock is 1. You can see S is equal to 0, S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, and clock is 1. For that also my outputs are undefined here. Okay, undefined. Next, when clock is equal to 0, I am making R is equal to 1, S is equal to 0. This is also undefined. So in the next condition, after 40th second, okay, 40th nanosecond actually, okay, clock is 1, R is 1, S is 0. This means I am providing a clock high and a different value of S and R, that is S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. Your Q bar will be 1 here. You can see the Q bar is 1, but Q is 0 here. In the next condition, after 10 nanosecond, there is 50th nanosecond, I am changing the value of clock as well as R value. Okay, so you can see here, and clock is 0, R is 0, S is 1, S is 1, it remains in the same state as in the previous, that is Q is equal to 0 and QB is, that is Q bar is 1, that is previous state it is maintaining when the clock is not provided, even though I am changing the input here. Yes, the next condition is clock is 1, R is 0, that is reset input is 0, set input is 1, so the Q bar will become 0 here and Q will become set input. Okay, whatever set input we have provided the value, it will be taken as an output here. Okay, that means the Q is 1 here. Q is 1 when S is 1. That means when clock is 1, S is 1, the Q will be 1 here. In the next condition, I am making clock is equal to 0, clock is equal to 0, and keeping both S and R 1 1, S and R 1 1, QB is 0 and Q is 1, because clock is 0, and when the clock is 0, it is a falling edge, it is not the rising edge. So I have written a program for the rising edge. Whenever rising edge appear, then only the output will change. Otherwise, it will maintain the previous state itself. The previous state of this is 1, Q is 1. That means for this state also it is Q is 1 and Q bar is 0, even though there is a change in the values. Okay. Again, next. Okay. So this will when s is equal to 1, or is equal to 1, clock is equal to 1. When s is equal to 1, or is equal to 1, clock is equal to 1, this comes to an high impedance state. This state we call it as an intermediate state. Okay. Whenever both the inputs are 1, for the rising clock edge of the pulse, the SR flip-flop will give a intermediate state. So this is the one of the drawback of this SR flip-flop. So this will be overcome in the D flip-flop as well as a JK flip-flop. So this is the operation of a JK flip-flop, and how to analyze your SR flip-flop with the test bench inputs as well as the waveforms. Okay. So by seeing all the instances, all the transitions of the S and R as well as the clock, you can check the Q and Q bar. What is the status of Q and Q bar, when it is changing and when it is not changing, when it is maintaining the previous state. All those things will be verified. So this is nothing but the verification of ESR flip-flop. So this is the functionality of the SR flip-flop. So thank you very much for watching this video.